Look at the faces in this line. Across India, millions of middle-class parents spend their mornings waiting outside admission offices, fighting for a single seat in a private school. Once you secure that seat, the real cost begins. Schools mandate that you buy absolutely everything directly from them: books, belts, shoes. They force you to buy new uniforms every winter and summer, slightly tweaking the color designs so hand-me-downs are entirely useless. Then come the mystery charges: seasonal building funds, smart class fees, and vague miscellaneous expenses. Look at this girl taking classes from her bedroom during the pandemic. Even when campuses were completely shut down, schools continued charging full fees for physical computer labs and bus transport. If parents couldn't pay, the school simply cut off the child's online access. The financial pressure completely crushes families. Parents will skip meals, drain their savings, and sacrifice their own well-being just to make sure their kid isn't humiliated in front of the whole class for unpaid dues. Families treat this immense financial sacrifice as the necessary price for their child's future. However, the data suggests that these fees have less to do with the quality of instruction and everything to do with how the institution is financially organized. Under the Right to Education Act of 2009, operating a private school in India is strictly classified as a charitable, non-profit endeavor. By law, you cannot run a school to make money. That means no principal, trustee, or owner can legally pocket a single rupee of surplus revenue. Every bit of money collected from tuition and fees must go straight back into improving the school and helping the students. But look around your city. If this sector is legally mandated charity, the presence of billionaires, local politicians, and land mafias running these trusts suggests a massive contradiction. Why are so many powerful people fighting to open institutions where the profit margin is legally capped at zero? The law makes profit-taking a criminal act. Yet the people running these societies continue to amass generational wealth, which means we have to look past the official ledger to see where that money actually goes. The process starts on day one. To open a school, trustees first register a non-profit society. This status makes them philanthropists on paper, granting them huge government benefits and massive tax discounts on prime real estate. But quietly, in the background, those exact same trustees incorporate separate, for-profit private limited companies. The school and the private company are separate entities on paper, but they are controlled by the same individuals. Now, the school needs supplies: desks, computers, software, even the land it sits on. The trustees ensure the school signs exclusive contracts to buy or lease all of these things directly from their own shadow company. These shadow companies invoice the school at massively inflated prices. The school pays the bill, draining its own accounts and moving the cash straight into the for-profit company, where the trustees can access it. Because of these artificially high expenses, the school's balance sheet always zeroes out. It legally remains a nonprofit, while the private company, which has no legal cap on earnings, collects the actual wealth. When parents complain about annual fee hikes, the school points to its empty bank account and claims it's running at a deficit. That deficit is the evidence of a system designed to launder parent money directly into the trustees' pockets. The extraction extends to the corporate sector. In India, massive corporations with high turnovers are legally required to donate 2% of their profits to corporate social responsibility, or CSR funds. School trusts compete for these donations by offering corporations a quiet deal. They accept the CSR money tax-free, then secretly funnel 80 to 90% of it back to the corporation through private channels, keeping a 10% cut as a fee. But then they target their own staff. To get accreditation from national boards like CBSE, a private school must prove it pays its teachers a salary equivalent to government standards. On paper, they comply. In reality, many schools require teachers to hand over their physical ATM cards and pre-signed blank checkbooks as a condition of employment. The school deposits the legally required salary during the day. Then, at midnight, school directors use those confiscated ATM cards to withdraw the cash, leaving the educator with a small fraction of their reported pay. These operators function like an organized crime syndicate. They systematically defraud corporations, exploit tax codes, and rob their own staff to protect their margins. Why do parents tolerate this? Why line up for a system designed to exploit you? Because these institutions have successfully weaponized middle-class status anxiety. If you look at learning outcomes, government institutions like Navodaya and Kendriya Vidyalaya consistently outperform private schools. The private sector actively buries those statistics to maintain a perceived edge. Schools market swimming pools and smart classes to justify their price points. These facilities serve as social filters, ensuring the child on the next seat comes from a similarly wealthy family. To protect that elite environment, many schools ignore laws requiring them to reserve 25% of their seats for children from lower-income families. When forced to admit them, they often find excuses to push those students out by the 8th grade. Parents are bankrupting themselves for a product that isn't helping their child learn. They are paying for a social status game designed to keep the lower classes on the outside. The government knows this is happening, but state-level inspections are practically non-existent. Due to severe, deliberate understaffing, barely 3.4% of private schools are actually audited in any given year. That understaffing serves a purpose. The lawmakers inside this parliament, tasked with enforcing educational laws, are frequently the very trustees profiting from these schools. The state isn't coming to the rescue. If parents want this to stop, they have to run the audit themselves. Anyone can file a right to information request online for exactly 10 rupees. You can demand the legal affidavits of the trust, you can pull the financial ledgers to see exactly where the fees are going, and check the makeup of the school management committee to see if it's packed with the owner's relatives. Until the middle class stops blindly paying for the illusion of status and starts demanding basic financial transparency, the private school cartel will continue to operate with total impunity.